Hello all, and welcome to, well, this morning's beer review, because it's already past 12. And it's a very special beer review. I was going to go and review the Berliner Weiss part of the 2017 beer camp set, beers all around the world. But this came in the mail today, which is my Samuel Gawith 1792 flake. And I thought, what better to go and pair with it than something like this. And this is the Atlantic Style Vintage Ale. English style ale brewed with plums from Fuller's Brewery. And this is an old school English brewery. Fuller's Brewery in London has been producing some of the UK's finest ales since the mid-19th century. Together we created a new recipe for an Atlantic style vintage ale, a robust beer. Perfect for aging and brewed with plums for a touch of rich fruit flavor that both mimics and enhances the natural yeast-driven aromas. Yeah, that's one of my great weaknesses is that I haven't really drank much, old school English style, old school beers from old, English brewers, but they're not very well distributed here in Hawaii. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Now, vintage ale. Beer Advocate has it classified as a strong English ale, though some people, the reviews there say that this is kind of a separate style altogether that I don't know anything about. I'm kind of looking forward to going in and seeing what this is about. I've let it warm up a bit because it said this one's supposed to be at about 55 degrees serving temperature. Ooh! Almost candied. Okay, give it a nice finger's worth of head here. Slightly cloudy, amber gold with an almost yellow head. Very malty. It smells like malt. Stone fruits. Almost like hints of anise or licorice. Cherries or raspberries. Yeah, definitely more towards black cherry. And I guess it would be plum. It would be the stone fruit there naturally since it's brewed with plum. Head recedes kind of quickly though for some reason. I would expect the head to be a little bit more, have a little bit more staying power with this kind of beer. Very interesting. Wow, there's quite a bit to suss out there. Let's start as I usually do with the finish. Very light touch of grassy hops towards the finish, old world style. A little bit of a carbonation bite for something of this ABV. By the way, 8.5 ABV, so kind of on the heavy side. Lasting finish really isn't of hop bitterness, but almost a sort of interplay of a lot of different flavors there of the malts. Kind of effervescent plummy notes with more generalized stone fruit flavor, especially in the mids going into that finish. Almost like ruby, no, more like tawny port notes. Actually, it's kind of hard to tell. It's definitely got a port-like finish, but it doesn't have those really nutty, heavy caramel parts, and it's not big and juicy like a ruby, but definitely almost like port grape flavor in that mid to finish. Just a hit of booziness up in the front to the mids, but not overly so. Light hints of caramel. Almost slightly woody notes in the finish too. That finish is really complex. Effervescent notes are just wonderful. Very light and delicate, fruity, stone fruit, fruity, plummy notes. Versus very kind of heavy, basso profundo, bass tastes on your actual tongue. Again, almost cherry and cherry or raspberry-like notes emerge too. And I'm kind of getting a little bit more of those grassy, earthy hops in the finish now, as it warms up even further. In retrospect, I probably should have not let it sit out as long as I did, and probably should be just a little bit more better, just a tad bit colder there, because it's incredibly hot out right now, so it's probably warming up pretty quickly. Ah, that's what it is in the finish. That's the yeast. Yeah, it's sort of earthiness to it. It's not really the hop sort of earthiness. More yeast too. Like I said, there's just a lot of flavors going on here, and it's kind of hard to suss it out. Yeah, definitely yeast in there too, in the effervescent parts too, now that I'm looking for it. And not in the sort of phenolic kind of Belgian or German way, but in the sort of like bottle conditioned kind of way. If you accidentally drink the bottom of a bottle conditioned bottle, it's just, very, instead of getting that in your face kind of yeast, it's just a very kind of light and delicate yeast flavor there. That's not really related to, sort of lighter yeasts used in lighter beers. But what I have to say that I like the most about this is the sort of port aspects to it, because I love port, for one. It's my second favorite. Well, it's a toss-up in between sherry and port for my favorite type of wine. My favorite type of wine being, of course, Madeira. You can kind of go and look up, and I reviewed a Madeira in the past, and I hope to review another Madeira, and I hope to maybe review ports. But like I said, this beer, that 8.5 is kind of hitting me. This beer is reminiscent of port in the finish, and port in the mid to finish, and I kind of like that. And I think it's that stone fruit, the kind of intenseness. I may just go out and buy a second one of the beer camp just to age this one, to kind of see if that finish gets a little bit more tame. These different flavors kind of meld together a little bit better, and come maybe, I'd like to see this beer evolve. There's a lot going on here. The finish might be a little bit odd for some because there's just so much going on. But yeah, wow. Looking at some of the other reviews that I saw, this is a kind of a love it or hate it sort of beer, and I'm pretty much loving it. This is something I would love to have in a sixer and, age for a bit. So, Sierra Nevada Beer Camp, Atlantic Style Vintage Ale. This is an English style ale brewed with plums from Fuller's Brewery in London. Definitely old school. Complex, evocative of English tastes, and I love it. Your mileage may vary. Depends if you like these sort of strong ales where it's more of a malt show rather than big hop flavors, I suppose. Well, folks, that's your beer review for tonight. I'm out to go and finish this beer and then smoke my pipe filled with 1792 flake. Another great English tradition and product. Cheers.